Hello everyone, welcome back to Raincode. Alright guys, I've been thinking on this question. Why did he say who are you if no one was there? I've got nothing. I know that there's like something more to this case. Like the case, it wants us to just be like a cut and dry, think the slaughter artist just killed the doctor and then killed Yako. But I feel like there's way more to it than that. I feel like this is gonna be like a major part in figuring out why. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about this case ever since the last video. And it's like every time I come up with a theory like, oh, maybe this, I remember a different piece of evidence that contradicts that. And we're like, well, it actually couldn't be that. So I don't know, I'm confused. I'm hoping we're gonna get through this mystery labyrinth today. So let's go. Oh my God. That was...
So Master, do you have an idea about what the geezer was thinking?
That was quite the camera angle shift. This also just doesn't look right. Shinigami's just like going through the ceiling. I don't know what's going on here.
Not yet, but I think it has to do with why he said, "Who are you?" I think the doctor was putting on an act.
An act? Really?
The doctor put on an act for a reason, but I have no idea why. We have to figure that out by going down this doctor's motive route.
Yeah, because one thing that I was thinking was like, oh, maybe like the doctor was alive and there was no one in there, and so he kicked Pal, but that he was dead. How would he have been stabbed in the back then? I don't know. Oh, is this a reasoning deathmatch? Yes, it is.
He's here too?
You rats keep scurrying around. Do you really think you'll discover Dr. Weska's motive this way? Good luck with that, morons! He had no motive at all!
Okay, well that means he did. Everything that you phantoms say, the opposite is true.
Well, he said there's nothing here. Let's head back.
Oh, Vivia.
We can't do that! If he's trying to block our path, then this route must be important.
Fine.
I'm only here because you maggots piss me off. So, I'm gonna end you here and now!
Sure, Yami. Doctor's notes, photo, email records.
This was all part of the doctor's plan? He didn't have a
I did it again,
at all.
Nope, I did there.
That exchange on the intercom wasn't an act.
I have a shield. That means I don't actually
There
have
was
to
no
dodge.
reason to put on a show. The doctor misunderstood.
Misunderstood what? Jump!
You probably don't know this. Weska put his soul into his work. The research was going well. The doctor was loyal to Amaterasu.
Wait. No. Oh. That's not what I wanted. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was wrong.
Knew it.
But
No. I wanted the email records. It was
This
that
was
one.
all part of the doctor's plan. He didn't have a plan at all.
Right.
That exchange on the intercom wasn't an act.
there was no reason to put on a show. The doctor misunderstood.
And I landed on top of it. This is going great. I thought it was on the
probably
doctor's
don't
email
know
records
this.
last time, but I was on photo.
Weska put his soul into his work.
Nope. This is going
The
terribly.
research was going well.
Unlike this reasoning deathmatch.
The doctor was loyal to Amaterasu.
There we go. We know he wasn't sending the emails.
Truth.
Have the right one this time. I'm not getting SS on this mystery labyrinth, that's for sure.
No, the doctor was planning on betraying Amaterasu Corporation. He was trying to escape Kanai Ward. He said so in the messages he wrote.
You little...
Well, at least that was only one question.
Yami's rebuttal.
Or statement.
What was that? What was he trying to deny? Why was he covering up the doctor's motives?
That's true. Why?
It seems that this case involves the inner workings of Amaterasu.
Yeah.
Right. The
deeper
doctor
than it
was going
seems.
to betray Amaterasu. And whoever he was emailing knew that. So the doctor locked himself in the lab to protect himself from that person.
Perhaps the doctor's act had something to do with that.
I'm still confused. I still don't get it. You make me run the whole way down to that end of the hall. I think it is. Oh, thank God. Ah! Well, you did that really well, Yuma. You didn't even scream.
It's the security gate. Everything's locked up.
How did the doctor plan to escape Kanai
Which
Ward?
means this is a complex problem. We have to choose the right door and insert the correct solution key.
This is way more hassle than before. Guess I'll leave it to you, Yuma.
You're leaving everything to me.
As always.
Okay. What? I can't even read what these say. Terrorist bombing. Blackout. Swapping places. I don't, how is, question, how did the doctor plan to escape Kanai Ward? Maybe swapping places. Blackout and terrorist bombing, I don't think really make any sense. We saw no evidence that he was gonna try and do that. Like either of those. So, well, the only one left, by default, is swapping places. Oh, solution key. So, airlock decontamination device. The device exists to prevent leakage from the... I don't think it would be this. The doctor's notes. A notebook found on the doctor's desk. It has diagrams of a person being splashed with sulfuric acid. Doing this would cause clothes and skin to melt, rendering the victim unrecognizable. Oh, what was the doctor trying to do? Stored food. He wanted to make himself unrecognizable. Or he wanted to make someone else unrecognizable so that they could take his place or something? It's this.
Oh, the door actually opened. I knew I could let Yuma handle it.
Are you sure you aren't a phantom?
So who was he planning to swap with, though, is the thing.
So the doctor tried to swap places with someone else to escape from Amaterasu. The notes he left behind in the lab hinted at his plan.
You mean the diagram with the sulfuric acid being poured on someone?
Yeah, he was going to swap places with a corpse, then melt it with acid. He wanted to disfigure it beyond recognition. That's how he planned to fake his own death.
At the very least, it'd buy him enough time to escape Kanai Ward. Or so he thought.
Wow! Melting a corpse with sulfuric acid? Yay! So cool and grotesque! So who was the substitute supposed to be?
This is nothing. Right.
Maybe the hitman.
Maybe.
The doctor was under surveillance by Amaterasu, but he was still looking for a chance to escape. When he learned a hitman was after him, he figured his chance had arrived. The doctor was hoping to use the security system to kill the hitman and use the body as a decoy.
The hitman would have to look exactly
Now
like
that
him,
I
though.
think about it,
And
the
height,
doctor
anyway.
did seem to be waiting for the hitman to arrive.
And stature.
The hitman hasn't arrived yet. When will he show up? Don't tell me this so-called first-rate hitman was captured by peacekeepers.
But the hitman never did show up. That's why the doctor had a sudden change of plans.
And that was the act he put on by asking, "Who are you?"
Perhaps that was a trap to lure you in, Yuma.
He was trying to lure Master?
He considered taking advantage of the detectives, since the
Oh.
hitman never showed up. So if he called for help, he would charge into the lab, not knowing anything about the security system. And thereby, acquire the corpse he needed as his decoy.
I guess.
That seems overly complicated. Like those guys who overthink asking girls out?
Well, he couldn't have used another researcher. Someone would have noticed their absence. He needed visitors. people from outside to pull it off.
I was standing in this place because, oh, the door finally opened. It's like I don't want to cut them off if I advanced too far walking. I guess he was planning to just like totally destroy the body with sulfuric acid because the body would have to be like the same height and stature. Like it would have to like physically, even if the face was messed up, physically it'd have to look like, oh yeah, that could be the doctor. And Yuma does not look like Yuma's kind of short and the doctor looks short, but like other than that, that wasn't gonna work. So, my guess is he was just gonna like totally cover the body in acid. So then who killed him? If he was about to put on this act to lure in Yuma, what was the deal?
So if I didn't know about the security and had rushed into the lab...
You'd be a super sexy skeleton right now. Aw, so close.
You want that?
But the doctor's plan failed, and he actually got boom killed by the hitman. I get what he was trying to do, but what about the impossible murder?
Assuming the attack on the doctor was just an act when we saw him through the intercom,
Then when did the killer get in?
we at least know for sure the real attack hadn't happened yet.
In other
Such a
words,
small window.
the culprit entered the lab after that exchange. So the problem is, when did they actually enter?
Huh. Whoa.
Where are we?
Why do we look like this?
This place is a real mystery.
What the?
Then again, I suppose that checks out.
We've changed art styles.
Huh? Shinigami?
Yeah, Master! This
What
looks
the heck?
an important turning point! So, is that your final answer?
I haven't said anything yet!
What is going on? Why do we look like this? The culprit entered the lab before Amapal. Well, yeah, because Amapal got kicked.
Master, you need to narrow down the timing for when the culprit got inside. Now then, here's our fateful fork in the road. It's life or death! We are at the crossroads of mystery and solution. This earth-shattering choice may be your last. Now, Master, which one will you choose?
Yes. I love how we're just not acknowledging this art style change.
When I directed Amapal to go into the doctor's lab, he already had a knife stuck in him.
And he was
Which
kicked.
means he was murdered before Amapal entered the doctor's lab.
Your answer? Is correct!
Yay.
Congratulations, Master! Would you like to double down?
What are you talking about?
What is this?
Anyway, let's keep going.
She's got a microphone. Is this a reference to something that I don't get? Well, that was weird. And we're back to normal. That was weird. Okay.
Little by little, we're narrowing down when the culprit entered.
Yeah, but we still don't know how yet. It had to be between when we spoke to the doctor over the intercom and when Amapal entered his lab. During that time, the culprit entered the doctor's lab and murdered him.
So the most likely time would be when you went to borrow Amapal, Master.
That's true. We were gone for a
Culprit
bit.
had to have entered the lab then.
But Fubuki waited at the front chamber
Right.
while Desuhiko and I went to borrow Amapal. She said no one entered or left the lab.
This is harder than the locked room mysteries of the nail man. Oh, and we're here again.
Huh? We're back on the original path.
Maybe you're supposed to try opening that door now.
I'm sure that from here on out, it's not just about when, but also how the culprit got in. Yuma, there's no need to push yourself if things get too hard.
No, I can do it. I'm going to solve it.
Where was the culprit before the crime was committed? I don't know. Oh, a map.
This is a map of the critical lab.
So we have to determine where the culprit was before the murder.
We'll have to solve them one at a time. Let's start with this mystery.
If we know where the culprit was before they got in, this route will be clear too. Do you know where, Yuma?
My only thought is that they were somehow already in the, like, air gap. Like that little room. Where's that on the map? Is that to the left here? Like, here? This is the only place I think that they could have been hiding, that Fubuki wouldn't have seen them. They were somehow already hiding in that little, like, gap in the ceiling.
Here! The culprit must have been here!
Oh, I was right.
After the exchange on the intercom, given there was always a detective at the front chamber, when we went to borrow Amapal, the culprit had to have already made their way inside. But the airlock is the only location that isn't affected by the security system. There, the culprit had to be inside that decontamination device before committing the crime.
Do I just go forward? I guess so.
But I thought he was just hiding in there to avoid being spotted after the crime. So you think the culprit was in there before the crime too?
Yeah, the culprit was waiting for their chance. But we had no idea when we sent Amapal into the airlock.
And from there, Yuma, you guided Amapal to the doctor's lab.
Was he
So
the killer behind
culprit
Amapal?
entered the doctor's lab before then? How would that be possible? Only Amapal could get past security, right?
Well, no, that doesn't make sense because the gas.
That's the next big question.
Maybe the culprit used another Amapal unit.
No.
That wouldn't have helped.
The researcher mentioned there was only one functioning Amapal.
Which means the Amapal Yuma controlled was the only one that could get past security.
So the culprit must have taken advantage of Master's Amapal to get into the doctor's lab.
Yeah, that's the only way. But how did they use it? There's no solving the doctor's murder until we figure that out.
Well, I have an idea. Will you hear me out?
Yes.
What is it?
How about giving up? I'm getting tired.
Too much running.
Nope, motion denied.
So I was just thinking that, oh, they followed behind us on the, like, floor.
Another fork in the
Hold on.
road. Such a complicated mystery labyrinth.
I thought that they, like, followed behind Amapal on, like, the, like, floor where you have to, like, go on certain squares to get to, like, the door open. But then I kind of forgot about the gas before that, so, like, that wasn't turned off.
Beyond each problem lies the truth. We're definitely getting closer to the heart of this mystery.
A weapon, a shield, neither. How did the culprit use Amapal? I'm thinking neither because how would Amapal have been used as a weapon without our knowing? Or as a shield without our knowing? So I think it's neither. I think there would have been like obvious signs that it was one of the other two.
Do you think neither is really the right answer?
Given the process of elimination, that must be it. Amapal's hands aren't designed to hold anything, so it couldn't use the knife to murder the doctor.
And we would have seen that.
Which means Amapal wasn't the murder weapon, and the culprit couldn't have used it as a shield. It can't neutralize the toxic gas, and the high voltage shock would destroy it.
So then, how did the culprit use Amapal?
I think we'll find out if we continue down this path.
Nope. He screamed that time.
That was the wrong answer! Come on, Master!
I don't think it was the wrong answer. That just happens sometimes.
Huh?
We've been here before.
Oh, we're here again.
It looks like we've been brought back.
But the door we opened earlier is closed again. Why's that?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Huh? Even the question is the same. Does that mean we gotta do it all over again?
Well, the logic is still sound. There's no other hiding spot for the culprit besides the airlock.
So you want to choose the same answer and keep going?
If you do, you'll just repeat the whole process again. We'll just be brought back here if we can't figure out how did the culprit use Amapao. And I refuse to walk any more than I have to.
So should we figure it out before we go there?
Hey, don't sit down!
Don't sit down!
What should I do?
Stand up! Stand up right now!
Stop it. Leave me alone.
Stop it.
If you want me to leave you alone, then help my useless master out!
Fine. Just one thing then. We're back at where was the culprit before the crime? Because you're stuck at how did the culprit use Amapao? With that in mind, these two questions are connected.
Connected? Both the culprit's location and how Amapao was used?
Help him out more! More!
The culprit was hiding in the airlock, where you also left the robot, right?
Right.
At that moment, only the culprit and Amapao were there. So maybe the culprit did something.
The culprit did something to Amapao?
Clues are always there, right under your nose. It's a detective's job to notice them. Did you notice anything strange back then? Any tiny detail? Try to remember.
Something strange. Hey, now that you mention it, back then...
Oh hey, the screen lit up. So this is what Amapao sees. It's like the cockpit of a mecha.
Whoa, what was that?
Oh, I totally forgot about that. I was never gonna remember that happening.
Did it break already? I thought it was state of the art.
Oh, I completely, like, this was gone from my mind. Like, my brain threw that out. Did they step on top of Amapao, maybe?
No, it's alright. It's stabilized. There was a moment when the camera stopped functioning while I was controlling Amapao. It returned to normal pretty quick, but maybe...
See? I told you it was right under your nose. You don't need any additional help from me, right?
That was a clue to help solve this mystery?
Actually, everything in this world is a key to solving mysteries. You just haven't noticed them. Perhaps there is more you're overlooking. Was there anything else unusual?
Something unusual. Something I missed.
I don't know, maybe I forgot it like that.
Anything else? It's not like Amapao's camera showed the culprit.
Wait, that's it!
Huh?
Now that I think about it, wasn't that strange?
What?
The culprit must have gotten ahead of Amapao, but why didn't they ever show up on the camera? If the
They're on
culprit went
top, I
past
guess.
Amapao to enter the doctor's lab,
Yeah.
he would have been spotted for sure.
Wait a minute, didn't they keep saying that Amapao could, like, even stand the weight of an elephant?
Now that you mention it,
But nobody showed up on camera. How did the culprit manage to pull that off? How can you move from the airlock to the doctor's lab without appearing even once on Amapao's camera?
hey, aren't you just adding another mystery?
No. All the pieces are here.
Huh?
Yuma, the mysteries you face now can be solved with a single answer.
A single answer?
Sheesh. I talk too much.
Whoa, one mystery after another! What'll you do now? It's a Pandora's box of mysteries!
Let's stay calm and think about it. There's plenty of time.
Or not.
Oh,
I'll keep reading while
Here we go again.
you wrap things up.
Remember what he said, Master. All it takes is one answer to solve these mysteries. Use those weak brain cells of yours and think!
Culprit's location. Amapao's usage. It's malfunction. Why didn't the culprit appear on camera? All this can be solved with just one answer?
They were on top. Okay, where was the culprit before the crime? On top of Amapal's head. How did the culprit use Amapal as transportation? What caused Amapal's malfunction in the airlock? The culprit jumped on it. Why didn't the culprit appear on camera? They were on top of the head.
The door opened!
With every open door, it will be harder for you to turn back. Are you sure you want to keep going?
You keep saying that. So they probably got off then when we were opening the door and it was taking forever. Do you think at that point, if the doctor was still alive, then we would have heard him like scream as he was being stabbed, but maybe not.
Absolutely! I will find the truth no matter what. This is for the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Hey, you said the culprit rode on top of Amapal. What did you mean by that?
Literally what I said. The culprit rode Amapal and used it to get through. After we left Amapal in the airlock, the culprit came out of the decontamination device.
They really stuck the landing on Amapal, didn't they?
Then they jumped on Amapal's head. The disruption in the footage was from the impact.
That's insane.
Is it? I think it's fairly reasonable. Amapal can withstand up to 100 kilograms of weight.
Right.
So, someone riding on it shouldn't affect its functionality.
The shoe print on Amapal's head wasn't caused by someone kicking it.
Yeah. I thought that was
left
weird.
there from the culprit hopping on and off.
Yeah, because I even said, like, that doesn't look like a footprint from being kicked. Like, that doesn't make sense.
After that, the culprit simply rode on it as it moved toward the doctor's lab. By doing so, the culprit was able to evade the camera and remain hidden as they made their way through the lab.
You're right. If it's true, then it does solve all of the previous mysteries. Imagining the culprit riding on a robot makes me laugh.
Hilarious, Shinigami.
Have you not realized it? You're still missing something. One major mystery remains.
What's with that huge sigh?
The greatest mystery of this case should appear soon. Just the thought of it gets me feeling down.
This
Wait,
case's
what?
greatest mystery?
Huh? A who? You're worrying me, Divya. You make it sound like you already have this whole thing figured out. Almost there. Maybe. I don't know if it's gonna make me run the whole way to the end of the hall. Might. Oh. To fall through again? Oh, he didn't scream again. Sometimes he handles it very well.
This is the panel chamber.
That means the doctor's lab is just beyond it. If we can get through here, we'll reach the goal, yeah? Is this the greatest mystery you mentioned?
When did the culprit get off Amapal when we were opening the door?
Not exactly what I was envisioning.
Well, this is the mystery to be solved, so let's clear it out.
Beats me.
You're just not gonna say that line? You're just gonna say beats me? Okay. When would it have been possible for them to get into the room ahead of us? While opening the door.
The culprit
Took
murdered the
forever to
doctor
open.
before Amapal entered the room. Which means the culprit had to have gotten ahead of Amapal at some point. It was when the door first opened. At that moment, the culprit snuck into the doctor's room.
Yeah, when the doors were slowly opening, just like this. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Right. The moment there was enough space for a person to slip through, the culprit hopped off and went inside.
Like this?
Oh. Great, here we go again, Yomi.
We still haven't reached could get into the doc's lab now.
Is this a joke to you? Your deduction is full of holes. If this is a joke, it's not very funny.
Master, you know what to do.
Of course.
I'll take your garbage deduction and toss it in the trash. I am the saint of Kanai Ward, protecting it from filth like you!
Kabuki's forte ghost form traits Amapal's design.
The
Amapal's
culprit
design seems
hopped
most
off my
likely.
pal as the door opened.
I keep landing on top of
Gap
them.
in the door.
Nope, jump.
That's impossible even for Fink the Slaughter Artist.
Whoop.
Think about it. If Amapal's line of sight changed just a
There we
bit.
go. It can't change.
Flash through this mystery. Amapel is designed so that when its hand is stretched out, it won't execute any other inputs. That's why when it was pressing the button for the door, the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
You little maggots. Don't get so full of yourselves. You're not getting out of here alive.
Fortunately, that's probably not the last of him.
I get it. So Amapal couldn't move while the door was opening. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Since the door opens outward, it's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates. That's how the culprit managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
So it's an elaborate murder that took advantage of Amapal's design, and even the direction the door opens. I guess you can call it an obsession. How scary. Just like this passageway. Where will it take us? Perhaps a suite with the culprit's obsession on full display? A room of nightmares?
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're really going?
Huh?
What? Oh. He's back already.
Again? What's with this thing?
The thing I want to know is, like, what if the culprit was waiting in there? Like, how'd they know that we were gonna take Amapal through, that they could do this?
Hey, Yuma.
Yes.
When the culprit entered the doctor's room while the door was open,
Huh? Yeah?
at the time, the doctor was in the room, right?
Yeah.
If the door opened and an intruder entered, how could the doctor not have noticed?
That's what I was wondering. We would have heard
What
him.
if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is. If he had noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him. Which means he wouldn't have been stabbed in the back.
That piece of trash is right. Your logic is flawed.
Hey, what are you, on the Phantom side now?
Listen to my incredible words of wisdom. Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake!
Harsh, Yomi. Oh, repel.
Damn it! It's full of inconsistencies!
Make up your mind,
By
word.
your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
Ugh, I keep landing on top of them.
That's
wait, that was what I needed.
impossible!
Oops. I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah.
Damn it! By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
There it is. There it is. Oh my god.
That's
Really?
all impossible!
I was pressing the button. He was just too busy finishing his jump animation to actually do it.
Damn it!
Yeah.
By your logic,
Even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
There. Hit. Oh my god, Yuma!
That's all impossible!
You freaking kidding me? Oh my god. Hit the stupid thing. Hit it! Now it was too early.
Yeah.
I was too busy finishing his jump animation. And then this time it was freaking early. Oh my god.
by your logic,
Ow!
Even if the doctor could be stabbed,
This is so annoying.
it wouldn't be from behind.
Okay, hit it!
Plane
Thank you! Oh my god. Every time I press the button just at the wrong freaking time.
No, the culprit did stab the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
Oh, wait. He had bad hearing. He probably didn't hear.
That's why I'm saying your
in.
deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way!
Doctor's notes lab. Is information on Dr. Weska about
The
his hearing?
culprit quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder.
I couldn't hear.
Running is noisy. So Weska would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back. Unless you think the doctor was asleep.
Where, I need something out here.
Is there
I
any
keep landing
trace
on
of him
top of
being
them.
drugged? Even if he didn't look back from his desk, he would have heard someone
Ow.
coming.
No, I wouldn't have. Jeez. This is like the worst I've ever done in Reason death matches. Thank God I have so much HP.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't notice the intruder.
Like, all of Reasoning death matches I have done, and like, only just now I'm landing on top of the words every single time? Why does that keep happening?
Now you're spouting nonsense. Say whatever you want, it won't save you. There's a gaping hole in your logic, and there's no way you're gonna fill it at this rate.
I don't get how he made it through the gas chamber. though.
Because you, more than anyone else, you're the one refusing to see the truth right before your eyes.
Maybe you did it, Yomi. You're being so, like, persistent about it. Yomi and Yako, those are my top suspects right now.
Refused to see the truth? Vivius said the same thing, but
It's strange, don't you think? Isn't it about time you noticed that something's off here?
huh?
You've solved many mysteries up to now, yet none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
So could it be Yako? Like, it's like Yuma's like, I don't want to see who actually did it. I'm so
That's
focused on how.
because the culprit is the hitman.
Probably not.
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? And that would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery hasn't been directly connected to the culprit is because of Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries that lead to the culprit.
That makes it seem like it is Yako then.
Huh?
That's the only one he want to push away.
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth. That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reasoning.
What hole?
Whatever, that's enough. Just ignore this guy and keep going.
Hey!
I don't know that we should be ignoring him. Is it Yako?
Yuma,
Yeah.
Yuma.
Yeah?
Jeez, go away!
You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The huge hole in this investigation.
What are you...
Just ignore him.
I don't think we should.
Let's review your deduction, shall we? The culprit took advantage of Amapau's locked position and entered the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind. However, They bumped into Amapal while escaping, causing it to fall over. There was obviously a mistake, but since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Which is?
How did the culprit get past security?
What?
We already told you that. The culprit rode on top of Amapal as Master controlled it and was taken all the way to the doctor's lab.
But if someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel chamber?
Oh.
This is the end for you!
I'm
You
more
have
concerned about the
nowhere
gas
left
chamber.
to go!
Oh, come on!
We had Fubuki's forte to help with that.
I won't let you maggots ruin the peace of Kanai Ward! As the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the guardian of Kanai Ward, I will stop you here and now!
Wait a minute, it could have been Yako, because he would have taken that risk knowing that they had Fubuki's forte to, like,
Perhaps
help get
this
through it.
too is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth? Tell me, what will you do, Yuma? Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight. Whether it's subconscious or not, I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the Chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
You sure about that? Are you sure?
Good luck! You'll never find it. You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in it, looking for an answer that will never come!
God, we're having so many reasoning death matches. I hate reasoning death matches. Okay, there's Fubuki's forte. That's probably what it is.
Keep playing with your shit deductions.
Like,
You still haven't solved the greatest mystery!
look.
How did the culprit get past the security? The
Ow.
critical lab security system was
I
always
didn't think
live.
the noise could hurt you.
There
been
was
hurting me.
no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit.
Fubuki's
That
forte.
security system? No living human can breach it.
There we go.
Slash through this mystery. A human could get past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's forte. In fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amapal. But we reversed time every time that happened.
Correct. So whenever it was struck by the current, you went back in time. But while that was occurring, the culprit, a human, was riding on top of Amapal. That person was burnt to a crisp every time you failed.
Oh God.
But
Which means you killed the culprit
Oh.
over and over again.
Oh God.
Vivia,
If only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
What's going
what are
on?
you doing? Why are you doing this?
Yeah. Wait. What?
He's going to betray you, Master.
I'm so confused now.
Betray me?
It's up to you, Yuma. This is your final chance to save the world you believe in.
What's
What
going
are you
on?
going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Why, Vivia?
I'm so confused. What? We're reasoning deathmatching you? What? Vivian has just confused me so much this chapter. Like, are you on my side or not? What? What? His knife! Ghost form traits, toxic gas properties, stab wounds.
Let me ask you,
Oh god. Slow down. Ouch!
how did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber?
Okay,
It's impossible to avoid the gas.
it's gonna be the properties of it. I don't remember what the properties are. This logically makes sense.
You should already know this, right? The gas is a special trait. The gas can see through even a gas mask. No ability can nullify its toxicity. Once it
Wait a
hits you,
minute.
you're done for.
Oh,
Die before reaching Wesker.
you wouldn't die right away.
No one
This is the truth.
Is that why Yako's dying? Was it not that he was like stabbed? Was he dying from the gas?
If you pass through the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you.
Oh my god. That's why Yako's dying.
Which means you could survive for 30 minutes.
If it doesn't end up being Yako at this point, I'll be shocked just because everything's like pointing to him and I'm just so like, so this is why this happened, and then I'm gonna look really stupid.
What? Don't tell me.
There are no gas
They just
masks
absorb
here
the
that can
gas.
block this
Oh my
toxic
God.
gas. And no fortes that can nullify it. There's only one way you could get through it. You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amapel taking you to the next room.
Oh my god.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
That's the only person it could be then though, that we know. Because Yako's the only one dying 30 minutes later.
It's the only
Yomi's still up and
explanation
walking.
that makes sense. This is the truth. I can't believe it. But if the culprit really did just endure the toxic gas,
Then they...
the culprit.
Oh.
Yes,
It appears you finally glimpsed the truth.
I've been right this
Well,
whole time.
How
But
does
why?
it feel to have your world shatter before your eyes? Isn't this what you wanted?
Huh? What's he talking about?
Yomi's mystery phantom and Fifia are both right. Subconsciously, I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the mystery labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's wrong? Do you know who the culprit is?
I do. I've known for a
Hitman,
while.
Right?
The truth is worthless.
Oh my god, are we fighting you again? Divya,
Nothing
can you
has
come back and
less
help me?
value in this isolated, rainy city. No one wants the truth.
Come back over here, Vivia. Come with me.
Now, rot away and die right here! No one will get in my way. Kanai Ward, Amaterasu, they both belong to me!
Okay, Yomi.
If the
Oh, we're
culprit
repelling
carried out
something.
the crime like you deduced, then they should be dead from the toxic gas.
Ah! Don't come at me.
But no one at the scene has died from poisoning. If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing here?
You're right that no one in that lab died from that toxic gas. But that was
He died
part
afterwards.
of the culprit's plan from the beginning. They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth? Your world will fall apart. The world that you believed in.
Your deduction
Oh, we're
is
still
wrong.
repelling.
Don't disturb the peace. It's not even worth debating.
Ow.
Is this the best you can do to refute it? Just give up and die!
Ow. I suck this time. The hitman. Ugh.
This, I'll expose
It wasn't the hitman.
The culprit misrepresented their death by using the hitman. The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas, so they used the hitman to cover up their own death.
Oh.
Use the hitman?
Oh, yeah, because he even said, oh, the hitman.
Meaning,
Oh.
the hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor. They were hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor?
Oh. He hired the hitman to stab him?
But the doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife. The story of Fink the slaughter artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back? It's the one that Fink the slaughter artist uses, right? I've heard about his knives inscribed with the letter F.
So it was all a ruse? The real culprit made it look like the hitman did it?
Stop. Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage! To hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Weska was killed by the hitman!
Huh? What's going on? Who's the real culprit?
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come, Yuma.
Vivi has known all along.
It's time for you to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world. Knowing this, will you still expose the truth? Then, show me your conviction.
The clues pointing to the identity of the hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
Now,
I mean, I haven't.
expose the truth. Do it. If you want to burn the world down.
I figured it out at the end of the last video, but it took me a minute to get there. Oh, poor Chief. Defeat Yomi with a key. What was the clue leading to the true culprit? Oh, this photo. What does this mean? What did the doctor do to Yako that he wanted him dead?
The bloodstained photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person. It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No. Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but
Shinigami, you still don't get it?
luck, Master. I'm always by your side, haunting you.
Oh. Oh, it's like, which one is it? Who's the last one? It's just Fink the slaughter artist. It took a really nice portrait together with him in his cloak. I'm sorry, I know this is like a sad moment, but that kind of killed me. It's Yako.
Damn it!
Oh, there he is.
Chief. Yako.
This is sad.
Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
I have a feeling we're probably not gonna do God Shinigami this time around. I just wouldn't feel right.
Chief Yako was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target. And the chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
This is sad. Who is that? Is that his
Hold on, Master.
wife?
Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either. But there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff.
Oh. Battle with Vivia. Why are we battling with Vivia? The anemic vampire is going to throw questions at you, Master. Press the correct button when you think you've got the answer. Oh, jeez. Quick time. Remember Morgan. Y, X, A, B. Y, X, A, B. Y, X, A, B. Go around the controls. Don't forget them.
The phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do. While the chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
I'm sad.
Yuma, if Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat?
Probably did it himself. You're not saying anything, but your lips are moving. Dr. Wesker must pay for his sins. With his life, my blade shall be his atonement.
Why would the chief send it if he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
Why did Yako send the death threat? To scare the... Is that it? No. He wanted someone to stop his crime. He's not actually hitting me every time. To make it seem like the doctor... I think it was that one. He wanted to make it seem like the doctor was in danger.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger. Which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note. Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
Maybe so he could, like, disguise himself as a peacekeeper or something. Oh, okay. To use the disguise ability. I guess that. So he could pretend to be one. Sneak in.
The note was sent to the peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene.
And then he could kind of blend in, be a peacekeeper, you know?
The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
You still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the chief like this.
Aww, Vivia.
Vivia.
Aww.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as peacekeepers and entered the lab. You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the peacekeepers will see us.
I can't talk. The blackout was planned then.
I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
That's how he got the excuse to run off on his
I'll
own.
draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it,
It's probably the hitman.
was that also the chief?
No, that would have been the hitman that was working with him. No, not Dr. Weska. Not Yako. I thought this is probably missing sound effects, but whatever. Think the slaughter artist. That's who did it.
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yako had it all planned out from the start.
Yeah.
He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
What did the doctor do that he wanted him dead?
So, Master using Amapal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us.
Yeah.
He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Oh.
Trust?
Yako.
How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their Fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all!
Don't say that, Shinigami.
Master, grab that coward and...
Enough! Why did it have to come to this? Chief Yako saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything, even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still, I really admired him.
Oh, this is painful.
So, why? Why did you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me, or
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead. Master, watch out!
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right?
What am I watching out for, Vivia?
Which means he should hold the same thoughts.
Will you tell us?
The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding, but that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found. So, he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, It was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
Yeah, it hurts, but there was no saving him anyway.
Eliminate the chief?
Especially since he breathed in the toxic gas. Now that we know that,
Are you really going to do this?
he's gonna die no matter what.
After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die. But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door. Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart. Now, I have to end his life?
You know, I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time.
Spying on him.
But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here?
Yeah,
Didn't you say
true.
you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue, if you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the chief's soul called out to us?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it?
Well, this all hits different now.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
And trust what?
You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction.
But I also don't even remember doing that.
As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head held high because I, too, am a detective.
Aw.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
It's time for the deduction thingamabob. Yep. With no sound effects, as always. Way to ruin the moment. Deduction denouement. I remember how to pronounce it this time. And will I remember the controls? That's the real question. Okay, where is the secret lab located? We don't have that yet. Intercom and Amapal. Okay. This is death threat sent to the detective agency, and also how was Dr. Weska communicated with? Intercom. We've got that one. Okay, what's new? What's new, Scooby-Doo? Nothing. Yay. Where did the culprit hide? In here. What did the culprit use to get past security? That would be Amapal. Oh, what's new now? Knife. Whose power was used? What weapon was used to kill Dr. Weska? This knife. Okay, now we've got, what do we got? Decontamination device and peacekeepers and Amaterasu operation. I think some of these are back this way. Like, where did the culprit hide? There. And then this should be the peacekeepers. We're also given the note. What do we got? Amaterasu is something. What is this? No. Who killed the culprit? Who is the culprit? Wait. What? Amaterasu Corporation, where does that go? Who killed the culprit? No, that's Fink, the slaughter artist. Whose power was you? That's the Bookies. What am I missing? Where is the secret lab located? I didn't notice that one. Alright. Now we've got the Bookies' power, which goes over here. Fink killed the culprit. And lastly, oh, Yako. Who's the culprit? Mr. Unraveled. It's time for the really slow fade out now. Can I like skip past the fade out? No, it's just gonna do it no matter what. I have a feeling Yuma won't be so excited in this deduction denouement.
Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction denouement!
Oh, it's denouement. You don't pronounce the T.
The victim in this case is one Dr. Weska. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ. He was a total hermit in the critical lab, with a totally overkill security system.
The culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that system.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the detective agency, and the research lab. the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the master detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all. The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And we arrived with Makoto at the same time.
Where is he, by the way?
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
I was rescued by Desuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber. Afterwards, we headed to the critical lab to check on the doctor's condition, just like the culprit directed us. But since that lab used a separate power supply, nothing strange had happened.
His whole "the doctor's in danger" spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master. What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom.
Except not really.
We had to get into the doctor's lab.
But that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap!
Jerk.
That bastard wanted to use your dead bodies! He really got you there, Master!
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Amapal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Amapal Express! First stop, a shower of toxic gas!
Man, he just took
Humans
that.
can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high voltage
God,
shocks!
wait. That gets me that we just kept killing him.
One wrong move, and it was insta-death! But thanks to that sheltered skink, we got all the continues we could want. So, we managed a perfect clear! The critical lab was finally breached!
The culprit had anticipated we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result.
Ow.
The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
No use crying over spilt blood. On to the next thing! Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the door to the doctor's lab, Amapal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze
climbed
through,
over the top.
the killer snuck inside.
Amapal can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then, the culprit boom killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Gramps was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amapal entered. But they knocked the robot over on the way out.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
He went in knowing this was a suicide mission. So that really makes me wonder what the doctor did to him. But he didn't care. He was willing to die for this.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with the toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
I guess that means the killer completely trusted in the Master Detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the Doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot.
Yako Furio! It was you!
This is sad. Are we gonna find out why he did it now? Oh boy, no sound effects again.
I will expose the truth.
So awkwardly quiet. So why'd you do it? What did the Doctor do to you?
But why? Chief Yako, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this? Why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you tell us? Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul and destroying the mystery labyrinth. That's why I'm here.
But can you talk to us? It's not gonna tell us? So we don't know. Oh, I thought like we could have like a final moment where he talked to us.
Surging bloodlust.
The high school girls did.
Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case.
This hurts. I mean, I know he was gonna die no matter what, but still, it hurts.
To the vile mystery labyrinth.
There was no saving him from, number one, his blood loss. There's two, the toxic gas.
Luminous darkness, shining rainbow, glorious stellar spiral. Now let's go grasp it,
What? Oh, stop, I'm gonna cry. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, that got me. Oh, I like fighting the tears on that one, not gonna lie. Oh. Oh, that hurt.
Master's naivete must be rubbing off on me. I mean, not even I hated Fuzzhead. That's weird. This mystery labyrinth is falling apart slower than usual. I wonder why.
We shouldn't let our guards down yet. Do you really think we're done here?
Huh? We're not?
Do you have all of the fragments of truth that you sought?
No.
If so, we could just leave, right?
I don't know why he did it, though. I'm assuming some mysteries probably remain. I don't know why he did it yet.
No, we haven't uncovered everything yet. No.
Is Mystery Labyrinth still gonna go, then?
There are still some mysteries remaining.
Huh? What's remaining? I reaped the culprit's soul already. I know it's slow, but this place is starting to come down.
Maybe it's not directly related to this case. I don't want to leave any questions unanswered. For Chief Yako's sake, please, help me, Shinigami.
Oh, fine. I can't say no to you, Master. You know I can't resist helping you when you rely on me. First, we need to reveal whatever mysteries are left. That should open up a new path. Lay it all out, Master!
Oh, geez. Doing barrel? Okay, this is going on longer than I thought it would. Oh, it's like the evening this time. Information on Dr. Weska, the doctor's notes.
Are you ready to play the
Dr.
Shinigami
Weska's
puzzle?
email.
Nice.
We didn't figure out who he was talking to.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Email.
That up.
We never figured out who the heck Dr. Weska was talking to in the email. Oh, a new way forward.
Oh, it's a secret dungeon! The labyrinth must be breaking down so slowly because the identity of the culprit isn't the only mystery. But it's still definitely coming down, so you better hurry, Master!
Yeah, got it.
Yuma, I'll follow you to the end until you reach the truth.
Yeah, Vivia.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end today's video here then. Wow, I was not expecting that to keep going with more mysteries. Oh man, that's so sad though. Yeah, ever since the end of that last video, I had a real feeling it was Yako. I mean, there was no saving him no matter what, and I knew that, but that still hurt. Oh, that Shinigami like hugging him instead of like full on killing him, that was sad. That made me want to tear up. Oh, I'm hoping in the next video though we're gonna find out, you know, why he killed the doctor. Like, the doctor must have done something really horrible to him if like he was willing to die to kill him. Like, he went in there fully knowing that he was gonna die, he was not gonna make it out. Like, he was willing to like go through that gas chamber and get shocked to death multiple times and get stabbed. I've got to do something with that woman. Maybe it's like his wife or his sister or something, and the doctor did something to her. I don't know. I guess we'll find out next time. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!